back in action. Hello, everybody. Back again, still a bit sick, trying to kick it. Haven't planned anything too special. Just doing some basic Warframe grinding. Trying not to put other people asleep before I put myself to sleep. I'm gonna be leveling Silva and Aegis Prime and then doing whatever happens. Nothing really planned. Just gonna try to find fun while I'm the only one on. Maybe if I'm lucky, we'll end up with other nerds that show up eventually. Maybe some friends through Discord or something like that. Maybe some will drop by. Okay, the attack speed seems to be pretty nice on this with Prime Fury. Yeah. It seemed like it was gonna be bad, but... No, yeah, that's good. Alright. Make sure I'm in the right form before I start making everyone angry. That's a bit long of a finisher animation. I don't know how I feel about that. I might have to do slide attacks. But I don't know if I do enough damage. Oh, my range is also horrible. Yep, looks like I'm gonna be stuck with finishers for now. Oh boy. Go to bed. The best way to level your stuff. Unfortunately. I mean, it's still kinda cool, but it gets old after a while. Especially considering this is the best way to get both XP for a melee weapon and for focus, in my opinion. It varies, though, from person to person. But in personal opinion, I feel like this is the easiest for, like, maybe low players and stuff to do. Just because all it requires is, like, one frame that has any sort of ability that will either put them in an unalerted state or put them to sleep. So all you have to do is have one remotely good damage weapon. It doesn't even have to be that good of damage. You could even bring a dagger with covert lethality and instantly kill anything that you poke with it. So, since covert lethality is an amazing dagger mod that if you do a finisher with it, it just is lethal automatically. It anything that you do a finisher on that you can actually do a finisher on with that dagger will insta kill. It's pretty stupid, but it's really nice. Because it's not too broken, because anything that's worthwhile finishing, you can't really finish. And at the same time, while it's nice to be able to insta-kill them, you're stuck in the animation for doing the finisher. So while daggers are fast, it's still kind of not that great. Because there is a chance where, depending on the frame you're using and stuff like that and the situation you're in, you could put an enemy to sleep and start doing your covert lethality finisher on them. And then just get shot by someone else across the room in high level who will probably two-tap you. Because scaling in this game sometimes. But, eh. If they make things stronger, we find ways to break it. Sure, we still get to complain about armor scaling, but there's not really anything we can do about that. Oops. Alrighty. Not bad so far. the make sure everyone is going to sleep. So basically, just in case anyone's new here or is wondering why I'm going through the trouble of putting literally everyone to sleep, it's not because I'm not strong enough to roll through all of these enemies. It's, there's a mechanic in this game that is basically a sleep modifier or a stealth bonus. One, you deal more damage while enemies are unalerted and or sleeping, but on top of that, um, as you get stealth kills, you start to rack up this stealth multiplier. For each stack of this multiplier, it gives you bonus experience gain up to 500%, which is very abusable because delicious, delicious XP, and this stacks with XP, anything else that would give you bonus XP. So if you bought one of the uh, experience boosters, it would be double XP and then 500% of double XP, which is disgustingly good. And on top of that, experience boosters, while they stack with the 500%, also stack with other event-based stuff that may be going on. So, double XP weekend will stack with double XP booster, giving you 4 times and then 500% of 4 times, in which case you literally walk through and kill like 10 enemies and are at max level. Like, ridiculously easily. And you can just blow through leveling up garbage gear like that, which is really nice in my opinion. It's just if you're actually around to make use of that and if you have XP boosters and stuff. But, I mean, I don't really mind it too much, like, running through the entire mission like this, because I still get generally the same experience in the end. And by same experience, I mean if I were to go through with these XP boosters and get max level after killing 10 enemies, I still gotta kill the rest of the enemies anyway. And if I was gonna kill the rest of them anyway, I probably would have got max level on my weapons just doing it the normal way anyway. It's just faster and more guaranteed if you have boosters. While doing it the way that I'm doing it is inconsistent at times, and you may not get max level, but if you don't drop your stealth bonus, then you should probably get max level about like 98% of the time. Watch, now that I say that, it's going to drop me off like 2 levels short of max level on this weapon. I'm going to have to go through just for 2 levels. Oh, there are a lot of enemies in here. Holy. Okay, I'm going to have to make quick work of this room. Or else they're going to start waking up. Because I cannot put them back to sleep while they're already asleep. So if they start to wake up, they're going to see me and I'm going to lose my stealth bonus. In which case, I'm probably definitely not going to be getting max level. Ooh, this is going to be close, now that I think about it. There's a lot of enemies here. Yeah. Yeah, I lost my stealth bonus. And I wonder how many kills that's going to affect. Already affected like 4. Ooh, I can slide attack through and one hit kill them. Ooh, that's good to know. That could speed up my time a lot if I don't have to be stuck in finisher animations. Oh yeah, that's sick. Okay. Yeah, okay, cool. I gotta be careful with the ballistas though, they probably still take more than one hit. Because they have a little bit higher armor value. Oh, nope, they die too. Huh. Neat. That can really save me some time. Oh yeah, that's sick. I mean, the range isn't that great for slide attacks, but it's still faster. Too bad I'm still getting caught in animations. Because I'm bad. Ooh, but that was satisfying. It's the little things. You gotta just enjoy the little things. Like satisfying sweeps with garbage range that hit like 5 enemies. And it just melts them and it feels good. Go to bed. Yeah, I'm not gonna risk the bombard. Yep, that's why. It didn't put me in the finisher though. Yeah, I still kept my stealth buff though. So, whatevs. Oh, do I even have to? Okay, I can just basic attack through. Surprisingly. If it doesn't put me in the finisher, that is automatically. Ooh, that's a lot of enemies too. Yeah, that's nice. Now, even though this is an exterminate mission, and whenever you kill the amount of enemies that it specifies, you can just run to extraction, since we're doing this for XP, it's best to, even though we completed it already, to just continue playing it stealthy and go through and make sure we're killing everything. Even if they're more than we, like, had to, since we're doing it for the XP, it's more worth our while to just do it. Yep, yep. Looks like I'm gonna be a couple levels off of max. I wonder how many off of max I am. Just because, like, that was a good run too. Yep, 2 levels off max. I called it too. Uh, it's that, what is it? It's commentator scarce. It's like whenever you're talking about something, or it's like jinxing yourself too. Not commentator scarce. Oh, cool. Mastery rank stuff. Um, but yeah, it's definitely fucking jinxing yourself. It's like, oh yeah, it's fine 98% of the time. So what does it do? It gives you the 2% of the time, since you're talking about how effective it is. I mean, it's still good. It gets you to almost maxed out, which is really nice. Uh, so, put pressure point over here. Condition overload. Life strike. I could put healing return. Healed for 9 each status type affecting the target hit. That means they have to survive though. I don't like building for things staying alive. I'm just gonna assume it's dead on the first hit. And if it's not, I want it to be dead soon after. So just keep Life Strike. It gives a lot more healing and burst. I'm probably going to use this with a tank frame anyway, so. Because Silva and Aegis, to what makes me happy, one of my favorite weapons before getting this thing was the Aken Brunt, which is another sword and board. I just love what they look like. I even bought the special skin just because it looks pretty. And this kind of looks like a trash can lid. Normally. Here. Appearance. Yeah, see? It looks like a trash can lid. And then the little crowbar that's kind of bent around that opened the trash can lid. Like, it's definitely not too appealing, but I love the skin that I got for it. It makes it look a bit prettier. And it has cool animations where leaves fall off of it, which is pretty. But yeah, this was one of my favorites, if not my favorite overall, when it comes to melee weapons. Um, but now, this thing's kind of spotting my eye, because when it comes to Stat-wise, one of the main things that caught my eye was the damage blocked. So when I'm blocking with this Mason shield, it blocks 90% of incoming damage from the front, which is ridiculously good because that's stacking with whatever damage mitigation you already have. So you're basically being tickled from the front, which is really nice. Because sometimes you can get thrown in a really bad situation. And you can't always, not to be mean or anything like that, but you can't really depend on pugs generally. Well, it's not so much depending on them, it's you don't want to take the chance for them to have to be running around and hoping they revive you. Um, I mean, it's not really that big a deal if you die, you have multiple lives, but I just don't like going down in the first place, so just having the added damage reduction would be nice, especially with Life Strike, because then you just block for a while. And it's like, oh, I'm getting real low, so you just block running up to the enemy and then channel and hit them with this and gain all your life back. Alright. Don't mind the 8 rank prime mods. I'm poor. Also, it's because a lot of my builds that I have on my melee weapons right now, while they may be strong, they're all based around those 8 ranked mods, and I don't feel like fully ranking them yet. I could if I wanted to, I just don't want to because then I have to go put in a lot more forma, and I don't feel like doing that just yet. Now the question is, should I do my mastery rank up? I probably should, in theory. Do I trust the Arca? I'll bring my... Eh, this is risky. I don't know what... They changed it a while ago, so I don't know if you could test it from your ship. So I'm just gonna hop onto something a bit more comfortable than my sleep Equinox. Yeah, that's the only thing I don't really like about this is sometimes your main weapon will clip through the shield. Like that. The main weapon will sometimes clip through the shield. Now, it's a good looking shield. I kind of like what it looks like sometimes, but I don't like the clipping. But I love what the mace looks like that comes with it. The mace. But I'm like, I wish I could equip the special skin that I have for the other sword and shield onto this, but only for the shield so I could keep the mace. It's just the little things. I don't know. I'm probably weird. But eh. Alright, guess I'll try it out, see if I'd lose. Have to wait a day to do mastery again. I mean, I'm not really in any rush to raise my mastery rank, it's no big deal. Now, why did I go to navigation? I can do it here. I get bonus daily standing limit, another loadout slot, void tree storage, and more minimum mod capacity. Woot woot. It doesn't look like you can test it from here. I generally like testing stuff before I do it, just so I don't have to wait a day. So I guess we're gonna go to a relay. Lorenda. I forget where I'm at. This is 19. This is 18? Oh no. No, I need to do this one. Yeah. Practice. Oh, it's defense. Neat. Okay, I can't use Zeneric. Everything's weak though. Wow, they're level 28. Oh, psh. Of course I use my most expensive ability when there's one guy left. Well, I guess I shouldn't expect much from these testings. Ow, you took down my shield slightly. I wonder how many waves there are. Oh, there's 5. There doesn't really seem to be a way to get energy back, it seems, so abilityless at this point, which is a bit unfortunate. But I can't even gain energy for channeling then either, for life strike. That's a bit unfortunate. That's dangerous. Oh man. Anyway, family aggro. Eventually I'll get a sign. I mean, I can't judge them. I've been waiting for upgrades for my computer for a while now before I could start streaming at a quality that I felt comfortable with, because I didn't want to release anything that was pure garbage, which is why I don't really have any content up yet. I've been wanting to stream for quite a while now, but I was never able to because of garbage internet and stuff. But now that I actually got the upgrades that I needed to actually do this stuff, I need to get them into the sense of either knocking before they come in, or I need a sign or something that says, "Hey, in the middle of streaming, please do care." But it's all good. I don't mind much. Um, ooh, this is getting dangerous. Actually, I don't have a lot of health left. I can't use my focus school either. Okay. Yeah, that was a bit close. I might want to use someone other than Volt, just for the sake of being careful. Well, also I know now that I can't really gain energy back, so I won't fire stuff off willy-nilly. Um, it's been a long time since I used my frost. Maybe I'll bring my frost out. It's been a really long time. Frost Prime was actually the first Warframe that I got past Excalibur. So it was like whenever I started the game on this account, I got Excalibur, and then from Excalibur and the base weapons went like from the Mark 1 Bratton that you start with to like the Karak or something like that. And then from all the rest of the base stuff like the Mark 1 Kunai and the dual Skana or normal Skana, Mark 1 Skana or whatever it's called. I went from that and the stuff to Excal went to Frost Prime. The primary went from Mark 1 Paris or Mark 1 was it Bratton or Paris? I think it was Bratton. I don't recall. It was one of those two up to Karak and then right to Paris Prime. Um, and then my secondary went from the Kunai Mark 1 Kunai to probably some different Kunai, but at that point I had concealed explosives, so it was a lot more worthwhile. I remember my frost being brighter. I think it's just the lighting in this zone. Usually he was like blindingly like bright white. But in here he kind of seems like he's just been rolling around in the dirt, which is a little bit unfortunate. It doesn't look that great. I mean, actually from a certain perspective it could look good. Could be like battle worn, which could be neat, which would make sense. But eh. And this is why I practice, because last time I got pretty close. I was getting a little bit low on health. I didn't have energy to do anything with. It was getting a little bit down to the wire, but here I'm probably not even going to take any damage, let alone if they even get through the snow globe that's protecting this in the first place. I just noticed they don't let me keep my Helios either, or any pet by that matter. They really don't let you have a lot in this one. I mean, the enemies aren't that difficult per se. It's just the fact that they don't really give you any energy or a pet or a way to get your energy back or anything like that. Some Warframes live off energy, so that could be unfortunate. But, well, this I guess is why I always practice. At least once before going in, because I don't feel like waiting a day. That just wastes time. Even though the extra XP you earn will start working towards the next mastery rank, it's still tedious. Oh, lol. Okay, duly noted. That gun runs out of ammo pretty fast. I just got that gun a little while ago, so I wasn't really sure how... Like, I knew it was pretty good. It's pretty good damage-wise. I like it. It's a fun shotgun to use. But these guys don't seem to drop any ammo either, so it's getting kind of... I can start to see that the ammo on it is a little bit troublesome. I'm sure out in the real world, where enemies actually drop the... What? My syndicate thing procced this time? Okay, well that's a glitch, because that didn't proc the entire time last time. That's weird. But whatever. What the? There's a nullifier in this one too? I think they just made this one inherently harder for practicing or something. It's like you practice, you know what's coming. Time to throw harder stuff at you. I mean, I'm fine with it, but not a nice move. Yep. Cool. Woo. Mastery rank 18. Because why not? I'm like, after you get to a certain point, mastery rank starts to get a little bit lackluster. Like, sure, yeah, it gives you more, like, mod space or something like that whenever you first get an item. But you only really need so much in the beginning. Anything that's worthwhile anyway is going to take a bunch of forma anyway. But it's like after you reach like max mastery rank what, like 13, 14. I'll be lenient. I'll give it like after you reach mastery rank 16, there's like no other thing that the mastery rank really gives you. Cuz by then you have all of the like weapons and stuff that are locked behind mastery rank, where it's like you can't physically use these weapons until you hit that mastery rank. You've gotten all of those by this point. So there's not really like anything to look forward to after that, mastery rank wise. Nonetheless, in the process of crafting Oberon Prime to try him out for a while, because everybody knows how much Oberon just loves to come say hi. If there were explosions, there were damage numbers, there was loot everywhere, Oberon was there. Oberon's always there in any mission you ever go to. There's like a 90% chance that at least one Oberon piece will drop. Oberon's just everywhere. I think they should have bound him to like Earth or something like that, because that would make sense. But we aren't allowed to make sense. Making sense is illegal. Oh man. Alright. I guess I'll level up these two weapons the rest of the way. Because why not? Eh. I'll hop into public. Oh, they're already in. The reason why I love Volt, after they uncapped his range on his ultimate, this is just so good. because the damage of this scales basically, while it does scale off your power strength for Warframes, I would say it more so varies based off enemy population. The more enemies there are, it's just so good. If there's a room just clustered with enemies, it'll wipe the entire room because they'll all just link to each other and do more and more damage to each other. It's glorious. I'm sure anyone that's watching this already knows all the abilities, so I probably won't go into detail on explaining the scales off enemy population, but TLDR, uh, alt electrifies enemies and then makes them shock enemies. So if there's anything nearby them, they get shocked too, and they can shock each other. So if there's a whole room of it, all of them shock each other multiple times, and they just all explode. Easiest way to define that. Which is why everything is dead. Any of the plus numbers that you see through walls is basically the XP I'm gaining through enemies dying through walls. Other numbers will be damage numbers, but the plus symbol ones that are kind of brighter is the XP from things dying. It's good to note that, because then you know if your ult's actually killing things or just kind of slowing them down and staggering them. Like that guy. That guy had a little bit of health, so he lived one of the prior ults. Oh, I cannot fit through that. Let me through. Oh boy. Yeah, usually when I run this mission, I'll be using my secondary because my secondary has a special ability where after I kill enough things with it or earn enough XP while I have it out, it'll do an AoE damage basic explosion, but it'll also give me energy back so I can cast my abilities even more. Because why not? Because it's good to. Because basically for this mission, you have to keep your kills up to maintain the efficiency of this zone. Basically, it's like hopping dimensions, and the dimension will go unstable if you don't kill things fast enough. That's the best way I could explain it. And if it goes unstable, we still win, but the mission ends. And the goal of this is basically to get as far as you possibly can. Well, at least the harder version of this mission is get as far as you possibly can. In this version, people generally try to just get to like zone 8 or something like that just for mission rewards and then they leave. Which I don't blame them. There's no real reason to be in here. Okay. So basically over there, I was watching the damage numbers just to make sure that the things that were being shocked actually died. Another great thing about the fourth ability, or the ultimate of Volt, is while it shocks enemies and those enemies shock enemies, it also shocks dead bodies. So even after the enemies die, if new enemies spawn on top of where the old enemies died, the old enemies that died, dead bodies, will kill the new ones. Which is kind of funny. Yeah, this shield kills pretty quick. Cool. This is a really good map for Volt. Because my range is limited horizontally, but vertically, it's kind of like a sphere. Like, I think it's like a sphere, but at the same time, there are days where it really feels like it's a cylinder instead, where it's like it doesn't matter how high up they are, it'll still hit them. But then other days, it's like I'll stand right above them and it won't do anything. But, it's finicky. Things do that. Like, yeah. It just goes out and hits everything for a good while. Probably be better if I stood here. Do we have a Trinity? Well, Banshee Mason. No, I'm just getting really good energy for some reason. 70% damage. Yeah, there's another Volt here. He's using a speed build, which is still very, very useful. Because movement speed, reload speed, I know it's melee speed too, but I don't know if it also affects fire rate. It might, don't quote me on it. But nonetheless, the speed buff is very, very good for a lot of different things. So a speed Volt is always nice to have with you. Yeah, another reason why I love my secondary that I'm running with right now is it is either one of the most, if not the most, effective secondary at killing nullifier bubbles. Nullifiers are these really annoying unit that have this globe around them, basically. But one, Warframe abilities and stuff like that will not go through its bubble, so it won't be affected by the abilities while it's active. And on top of that, if you have like an aura on you or anything like that, or any like channeled ability that you could just throw on and forget about, it'll basically turn off the aura, or if you have a buff on you, it'll get rid of it whenever you run into his bubble or something like that. So it's really inconvenient. And you also can't target him with abilities through his bubble. So basically, if you're using an ability that locks on the enemies, it won't lock onto him if he has his bubble, which is really inconvenient. And they get really annoying really fast. Oh, hey, buddy. Oh, I can't res you through the weeds. It's always good to not flame anybody. There's no reason to get mad at anybody for going down or anything like that. It's a friendly game, it's a team game. No reason to get mad at people. If anything, it's kind of amusing. Uh, for people that don't know what he meant by what he was saying in chat, he fired the lens too close. The lens is basically a bow that fires explosive arrows, but how it works is it fires off an arrow that does an AoE cold damage, so it'll like slow or freeze anything in that area. So he slowed himself or froze himself, and then it blew up, and he one-shot himself. But it happens. I've done that to myself before as well. Whether you're shooting at something and there's a piece of terrain between you that doesn't really look like it's solid terrain. I've done that before. I tried to shoot through a bush, and the bush was actually like a rock. It was solid, and it just wasn't having it. And then I froze myself basically and couldn't get out of the AoE fast enough, and I died. Yeah, some people might think the builds that I use and or make for frames like this, where I can cover the whole map, if not close to it, with an AoE that does a lot of damage. They may see that as cheesing, and I could understand their viewpoint, but at the same time, I'm like, they gave me the option to build that way, so I did. It's kind of fun whenever you see damage numbers through walls sometimes. Also, it's really nice in a game mode like this where it specifically says that you're supposed to kill as fast as you possibly can. Which is actually why I made this build generally in the first... Like, that's one of the reasons I made this build in the first place. Was because it killed really fast. And whenever I was playing this mode, some of my teammates couldn't kill fast enough. But with this, I can keep the efficiency of the zone at like 99%. It's a bit more difficult solo, but that's because on solo, less mob spawn. So it's not really my fault per se. Like, it still is difficult, but um, It's a lot easier with more people just because there's more things to kill, and the more things you kill, the better your efficiency is. And the more there is, the more damage I do. So, we're going into zone 6 right now. We're probably going to stay till 8. Yeah, that was one of the best demonstrations of what I said, how it scales with population. Yeah, I just spawned in, there were a bunch of enemies, and they just all linked to each other and killed everybody. I don't want to have people feel like they're not useful anymore, so they should leave. They should be able to feel free to stay as long as they want. I don't mind carrying people. It's good to help people out that may not be able to do stuff. Then they can maybe carry you later on down the line. You never know. I remember whenever I was really weak and felt like I wasn't contributing at all, so I almost, like, I wasn't really into the game much because I just felt it wasn't so much like really bored of not doing the damage. I was fine with not doing a lot of damage. It was more so I felt bad of not really contributing, and I didn't want to drag people down. So I tried to farm really hard, and I kind of grinded it all out. I did get some help here and there from certain people who were really nice along the line, but now it's just like I feel it's like kind of my job to help out people who need help, and I don't mind it. I enjoy it. Person says they are stuck. There you go. Cool. Didn't want to lose a guy. Yeah, that is my build in a nutshell. Big old cluster of enemies, they all link to each other and die. Here, I'm gonna try to teach them something. At least I'm giving everybody overshields to keep them alive better. I just need to keep my energy up. That's another thing I like about this build that I have. I'm using the augment for his fourth ability. So on top of this entire build generally being based around his fourth ability, what the augment does is it makes a percentage of the damage I deal with the fourth ability be converted into shields for me and allies, and this can give overshields. So it's making everybody more survivable, which is really nice. Unfortunately, there's no shield gating in this game, where they can still one-shot you through your shields, basically. But and they can hit through your shields with certain elements, but one day shields would be more useful. One day. Alright. Yeah, I'll just res myself to kill everything, since I'm the main damage here. Good run overall. Got to help some people. It was fun. Yep. What time is it? It is 11 o'clock. Um, it is starting to get a little bit late, so I'm just gonna call off this short little stream here. It was fun. Thank you all for who was hanging around, if anyone. Um, I hope you enjoyed. I'm sure I wasn't too entertaining. Um, there wasn't really much going on, but it was fun. Well, I'll catch y'all next time. Take care.